Are you entitled to keep your passport? Is the domestic worker entitled to a day off? What happens if the live-in domestic worker falls sick? Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to be so quick because I'm very busy in the kitchen. So in today's video, we are going to talk about your rights as a housemaid, not only in Lebanon but across the Middle East. I'll be reading from my phone, so I'll be looking down. So I want you to know that from this week, I'll be giving a shout out to 4 people every weekend. All you need to do is to watch my videos till the end, give it a like, leave a comment down there, and I'll be giving you a shout out on every weekend. Thank you. Dig into the video. The first one is, how and when should a worker be paid? This is actually from the topic of it. The topic of this is frequent asked questions and answers about live-in domestic workers in Lebanon. The live-in means those of us that live in the house with them. I'm very busy, you see I'm sweating. Those of us that live in the house with them, like myself, yeah. So this is what most of us usually ask. The first one is, how and when should the worker be paid? So I'm reading from my phone. It says, no work without pay is the guide principle. The live-in domestic worker has the right to be paid by the end of each working month, a full monthly wage as indicated in her contract. The wage must be paid without any delay starting from her first day of work. So let's assuming you started working on the 1st, you'll be receiving your salary next month on the 1st. If you started 20th, next month 20th. That's the explanation of that. The next one is what is the employer responsibility in ensuring the legal status of the live-in domestic worker? This one, they all do it. It is the duty of the employer to obtain the work permit and authorize of residence for the live-in worker as his or her own and full expense within 3 months of her entry in the country. This one, they all do it. They issue visas and everything, they do it. I don't have issue with that. So the next one is, what are the costs involving in having a live-in domestic worker? Okay, so like when they bring us the cost, the expenses on us. Yeah. So it says the costs involved in having a live-in domestic worker are not only confined to the fees paid to the placement agency and the monthly wages, not only the money they pay to the agent and to us. Not only that, it's saying they are supposed to spend at least about $600 on us. That's what the article says. Is the live-in domestic worker entitled to her passport? Are you entitled to your passport? Is the legal property of the country issuing it and the person it belongs to. It is illegal to withhold the passport of another individual under any circumstance. And where am I? I'm lost. The employer can have a copy of the passport but should by no means keep the original. Did you hear that? Okay. How many hours per day should the worker work? According to the new unified contract agreed upon the Ministry of Labor of Lebanon, live-in domestic workers have the right to work an average of 10 consecutive hours a day at most, including the least 8 continuous hours of rest. Meaning we have to work from like 10 hours, let me say from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, from like 6 to 3, and you have to take a rest. That's what the article says, but unfortunately it's something else. Relax. The next one says, is the domestic worker entitled to a day off? Listen, according to the international labor law, all workers have the right to leave their place of employment and enjoy a weekly rest. Stipulated in the Unified Standard Contract, live-in domestic workers in Lebanon have the right a weekly rest of not less than 24 hours continuously. The worker and the employer will discuss and agree on the timing and condition of these benefits. But I have been here for 2 years, more than 2 years. More than 2 years, I have only gotten one day. That was this May. That was when it was what was May's holiday? 1st May, Labor Day, or what? I don't know. Some people don't even get anything. So let me continue. Please leave a comment down there if you are being entitled to any of these rights. Let me know down if you are not being entitled to all these. I'm sorry dear, I'm really sorry. So join my WhatsApp group and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. What happens if the live-in domestic worker falls sick? What happens if you fall sick, if I fall sick? Let's see. According to the Unified Standard Contract for Live-in Domestic Workers, in case of sustaining any sickness not resulting from service or work incidents, a worker is entitled to a sick leave based on medical reports for half a month with pay and half a month with half pay. The live-in domestic worker is entitled to medical care when she is needed. This means that when she needs to see a doctor, it is her employer's duty to arrange for it. Okay, let's continue. That means when you are sick, your boss or whatever you're working with is supposed to take you to the hospital to see a doctor, to arrange for you a doctor or something. Whatever she will do or he will do to make you feel better, the person is supposed to do it. But unfortunately, okay, let's continue. What happens when the employer and the worker do not get along? If both of you cannot work together, Madam Sefahana this is what they are talking about. While it is hoped that the employer and the live-in domestic worker will have a good working relationship, disputes can sometimes arise because of misunderstanding, different expectations, cultural differences, because of barriers. When this happens, it is important to first try to resolve problems through dialogues. In case of severe disagreement, both the employer and the worker have the right to go back to the placement agency and ask for the change in sponsorship arrangement. So when you are not being able to work with your boss or your madam, when she's not being able to work with you, he or she can take you to the agency to change employer or something, whatever they will do to change you to make everything okay. My phone is dying, that's why I have this charger. Whatever they will do to make everything fine, they will just have to do it for peace to reign. So thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down there. I'm trying to know what you miss is a honey lady. She won't make her be her